What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hanlon, aka the Laptop Legend, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the stocks that I'm going to be buying tomorrow for some serious profits. And I bought the exact stocks that I talked about in yesterday's video, and today I ended up with over $4,000 in profits, I think. Now, Fidelity won't tell me my actual cost basis. They always do this on the tickers. I'll know tomorrow morning, but I'm almost positive it's over $4,000. That's what it was right before it started glitching. Now, TSNP, oh my gosh, we finally got the crazy news that we were looking for. George Sharp actually tweeted out right after I made my video yesterday, so hopefully you guys were able to see that news just because I didn't talk about it in the video, but hopefully, someone told you about it or you saw it on Twitter because the hype was all over the place. So because of that, I knew that TSNP was very likely to spike out of the gate. So I bought it right out of the gate, nailed it for 2,000 bucks, and then it had a crazy panic midday because they talked about the fact that they're going to do a reverse split. And I'm going to talk about that in a second, what that is, why it's important. But when it had that, it had a huge midday panicked like 25% in, like 10, 15 minutes. I nailed the dip buy, made another $2,000 on it, and it was absolutely beautiful. So tomorrow, apparently, the ticker change actually comes into effect. The reverse split comes into effect, and man, it's going to be really, really exciting. There's going to be a lot of opportunities in that stock and in other tickers. So come with me for the ride. It's really exciting. The overall market was really red today, guys. The overall market was really red today, but we were able to profit in the Discord because we're trading the type of stocks that are actually going up. We're trading when they go up, and we're cutting our losses when they go against us. And that's how you got to play. You got to play it really safe when the market is this red because, I mean, who knows, guys? The Dow could crash 5% tomorrow. It could crash 10% tomorrow, and it would not affect me in any way, shape, or form. And that's what I love about being a day trader, honestly. For me, it just takes the stress out of everything because I know that my profits at the end of the day are dependent exactly on the decisions that I take. Not, the future rates are doing whatever. The interest rates just went up, so now the stock market's going to crash. I don't like trading like that. I like knowing that I'm in control of my destiny, and that's why I like day trading, guys. So I'm gonna talk about those stocks that I'm gonna be looking into tomorrow, and I'm gonna do that on my computer here. Again, this is my old MacBook Pro because my new one is currently in the shop because it decided to die on me. So if the quality's lower, I certainly do apologize. Please make sure to like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe as well because I put this stuff out every single day. Have not missed a day yet in 2020, so 2021. So let's do it. All right, guys, so I'm here at my computer, and you can see this is the press release that HUMBL did right at 3 p.m. And again, HUMBL is TSNP. This was right at market close, I guess 4 p.m. Eastern time, and they announced that this was pretty much the same thing that George Sharp tweeted, but the FINRA has processed the company's corporate actions as requested and had its name changed to HUMBL Inc. Now, the reason that the stock tanked so hard in the middle of the day, and again, that was right here. The reason this happened was people saw in the SEC filings that there was a reverse split. And, you might be thinking, what's so bad about a reverse split? What's wrong with that? Why is that a bad thing? Well, let me show you. So this is the example. I talked about this in the video yesterday, but this is an example of what happens when stocks reverse split. And people typically don't like that news because typically what that means is there's some form of dilution coming in the future, and you're going to artificially increase the price of the shares. You're going to potentially create new shares and then drive the price back down, etc. That's how it works. Now, in this case, TSNP, George Sharp was talking about the fact that they're not planning on doing any type of, what is the word for it? I literally just said it. Any type of dilution. They're not planning on doing any of that in the near future. So, there's no plans for that, but, it still kind of scares people. People are still not a fan of that. So this is a crazy dip buy. I mean, this is an A-grade setup for me, and this is why I went in pretty big on this. I underestimated it, man. My best sell here was right at 88 off of this bottom here. So if I'd gotten in more shares or, I've been able to hold longer, I would have made a whole lot more on that play. But, I'm still happy with it. I'm still happy with that play. And tomorrow, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen tomorrow. So you can see, as a result of the reverse split, HUMBL's stock symbol will change to TSNPD on February 25th, 2021. That's today. So by tomorrow morning, this will be TSNPD. So I won't be able to trade TSNP anymore. I'm going to be trading TSNPD, which is weird. It's weird to think about. And the other thing is, supposedly, from what I've heard, the 4-to-1 reverse split is going to happen, at midnight tonight. That's what I heard. So this stock should increase its price 4x. So this should be trading. I can't do that in my head, but I mean, whatever that is times 4, 85 times 4. Let me do that for you guys real quick. 0.85 times 4. That's going to be $3.4. $3.40. So that's what we're going to see here. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about from this press release was the fact that they said, well, there were a couple things that were important. But the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that they're doing this to prevent shareholders from being concerned by the volatility, if that makes sense. So the goal of doing this is to quell the volatility in the share price, because obviously, a stock that goes from 36 cents all the way up to 190 back down to 85 is something that is a little dissuading for your average investor. Most people don't like that type of volatility. They want something that, sees a nice little increase, but they don't want something that's this crazy roller coaster ride that TSNP is. And for that reason, they're doing this change. And they also said that by doing the reverse split, they would force any outstanding short positions to cover their position. Now, I'm not sure why that's a thing. And if you guys know why that's a thing, feel free to comment down below, because maybe there's just something that I don't understand. But I don't know why shorts would have to cover just because there's a reverse split. Because in my opinion, I think it would be the same thing. However many shares they were short before, now they're short 1/4 of those shares, but at 4x the price. Just like George Sharp said, HUMBL, they're now going to have 125 million warrants for HUMBL. FORW is his company. So FORW is now going to have 125 million warrants at 4x the price. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. So this, I truly don't understand why it would force shorts to cover their positions. I really don't. And honestly, what effect is this going to have on the price? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is going to cause a huge spike tomorrow or it's going to cause a continued panic, because here's the big thing. HMBL, which is what everyone was expecting on Friday based on George Sharp's tweet, it's not going to be till March 26th. So I know these things take time. I'm not worried about that. But the fact that it's being pushed off this much is, it could be a CCIV situation where the news gets priced in, and then once it comes out, or it shows that it's not what people were expecting, there's a big tank. So I'm gonna be watching this carefully tomorrow. I have no idea whether it spikes right out of the gate or panics right out of the gate. But if it panics, I'll wait for the dip buy. If it starts spiking, I will buy right at open. And that's my plan for this one, guys. But it's gonna be weird to be trading HMBLD at 340. It's going to be weird when I'm used to trading TSNP under $1. So, we'll see what happens, but I'm definitely excited. There's definitely going to be a lot of volatility in this tomorrow. And again, if I wasn't super clear on reverse splits, for those of you who don't know what a reverse split is, again, it's where you take a 4-to-1 reverse split is where, say you have 40,000 shares of TSNP. Now, after this reverse split, which is 4-to-1, every single one of those 4 shares gets turned into 1 share. So now instead of having 40,000 shares, you have 10,000 shares. And this should lower their overall flow to the company, which I guess technically is a good thing. Now instead of 3.7 billion, it's going to be under $1 billion float, which I guess is a good thing. And now they're going to be closer to that NASDAQ listing requirement of $4. To be listed on the NASDAQ, it has to trade over $4 for, I believe it's 90 days. They're getting really close to that now. And if it gets back up to, $1, where it was the equivalent of $1 today, will be the equivalent of $4 starting tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. So potentially they're doing this so they can fast track to uplisting to a major exchange and attract larger institutional investors, etc. So for the long term, this is honestly a really good thing. For the short term, I'm not sure what effect it's going to have, the fact that they're pushing off HMBL, the ticker. I'm really not sure. Really not sure. But this is my number one watch for tomorrow for sure. I will be buying it one way or another, whether it's on a dip or right out of the gate. If we get something like this, time will tell. Only time will tell. But be watching this one carefully. Same thing, FORW, guys. You can see it panicked right at the same time the TSNP panicked, bounced at the same exact time. So if TSNP runs out of the gate, this one's going to run. If TSNP panics out of the gate, this one's going to panic. And if you miss your executions on TSNP, definitely take a look at FORW, because it's George Sharp's company and it's going to be doing the same type of thing. AABB, this one it was a roller coaster ride, man. A lot of panic dip buys. A lot of little panic dip buys. But they were all very choppy bounces, guys. They were all very choppy bounces. We had a good one right here. I think I missed execution in the morning on this one. And then just kind of gross. Just kind of gross, man. This is down a lot. It's down a lot, guys. If you look at the daily chart, you can see these candles are days. I mean, that's down a lot, but it's still up from half a penny. Still up from half a penny. So I think this has a long way to fall, but there could definitely be some more morning panics and some more dip buys, guys. I mean, I see no support really until, 10-cent psychological number. Maybe the here at 5 cents. I mean, this could panic a lot. It could be down 75% tomorrow. See a nice bounce. So I'm gonna be watching AABB. SWRM, this is the strongest OTC that we had today that I saw overall. I mean, this thing was nice. This thing saw some nice movement right out of the gate and had some good dip buys. Kind of rejected that break of high. So only finished up 44% on the day. If you look here, I mean, it closed right below those breakout levels. Right below those breakout levels. So I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. If it can get back above those levels, break back above 450, that's going to be a really good sign. And it did perk up going right into the end, but it closed kind of, I would say, closer to the low of the day. So we'll have to see what happens on this one, but it's on the watch list. It's on the watch list. Again, looking for those panic dip buys, looking for the breakouts of those key intraday resistance levels, those key multi-month resistance levels, multi-day resistance levels. And again, right here, I mean, that's a big one, that 4.5 area. So I'm gonna be looking for that. If not, we can get a great panic. Maybe the whole market crashes tomorrow and we get a really big panic on all the stocks. I'm fine with that as well. ALYI, this one had some decent news today and it still died. So just weird. I expected to run right out of the gate. I think I took some positions and then ended up taking a loss because it just didn't do much. PVDG, this one had some nice panic dip buys, but still just watching it. AITX, you guys know the main tickers. Look at that, some beautiful dip buys. None were as great as TSNP though, which is now TSNPD. So weird to say. OZSC, I made $10 on this one today. Just kind of gross. Again, those big spikes in volume, when it's the highest volume in the day, right at midday, typically that's a good sign that that's going to be the actual bottom. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Just a little lesson to tuck away. ENZC also making some moves today. I mean, just lots of panics. Lots of panics, and everything was ugly, guys. Everything was bleeding, which is why I love being a day trader. I love being a day trader. I love the fact that I can finish green on a day when everything's bleeding. MITI, this one finished right at 30 cents. Again, I'm going to be adding if it gets probably down in the 25 area. If it gets down to 20 cents, I'll be adding heavily. For now, I'm fine with the position I have. I have 127,500 shares of MIDI, and I'm fine with that. Got a lot of new catalysts coming up, so if I get a bigger discount, I'll load up. But for now, I'm perfectly fine with what I have. And, man, love the stock. I love it. INKW, did I talk about that one? Yeah, so this one had a press release, but it was kind of fluffy. So really had very little effect on the stock. I think it was right there, and it barely even moved it at all. I think they said they were going to have a dividend to their shareholders, but it's like so inconsequential. I'm pretty sure that it didn't move it at all. So yeah, I mean this is another one that's always on the watch list because it can always move. And we're getting a lot of red days in a row out of a lot of these OTC stocks. So if we get a huge green day, the market bounces back tomorrow, like we could see a lot of green days on a lot of these stocks, but you can't take that for granted, and you have to go in just being ready to react to whatever the market gives you. I would say that's the biggest thing. SFOR, I took a nice little loss on this one, expecting it to break out past 19, and I just got chopped out with two big sides on that one. WARM, this had some breaking news, and I bought it here on this spike, huge size, and then ended up cutting down here, and then came back up a little bit, but I still would have gotten a negative. I lost like 800 on this one. This is my worst ticker today. I like those breaking news plays because sometimes they spike up, they go really hard, but this one just didn't pan out. So it's worth taking a stab at. Obviously, guys, GME, there was opportunities today on this. There were opportunities. I just have no interest in trading this. Do you really think that you have an advantage when you're trading GME versus all the hedge funds, all the manipulation, all the choppiness? Do you really think there's any difference between just flipping a coin? Do you have statistics, a history of profiting on stocks like GME? If the answer is no, just don't touch stocks like this, guys. Just don't do it. Everything pretty much did the same thing today. AMC pretty much mirrored the chart. Just ended up pretty gross. I don't know what else. KOSS just bleeding off. Everything was gross today, guys. Everything was gross. And honestly, with the way the overall market's looking, like I'm not expecting too much to be different. I mean, not really doing too much. Just fading off gross. It could get a whole lot uglier, guys. It could get a whole lot uglier. So just keep that in mind. Trade small, trade scared, trade cautiously. RHE, I expected this one to spike up because ACY was spiking up. And again, those were supernovas from the same day. Back the first time they went supernova. I think I bought RHE at like $3 and sold it like $9 a few minutes later. But in this case, yeah, ACY, I mean, this is one to watch. Former supernova. Again, look how hard this one went way back when. But, yeah, that was the day I traded RHE. I think that's pretty much it, guys. I think that's pretty much it. Again, the biggest focus for me is TSNPD tomorrow. I'm really excited. I think there's going to be a lot of volatility in that, which is what we need as day traders to make money. And I'm just going to be watching everything else. You know, if we get some breaking news from OZSC or I don't even know, ALYI, AITX, any of those, ABB, I'll be looking for those. I'll be looking for panics. If the overall market's bleeding huge, I'm going to try to play a little more conservatively, but still nail those panic dip buys. And just look to stay alive, guys, because when the market starts to transform and it's not like a raging bull market anymore, the most important thing is conserving the profits that you made from before to be in this for the long run. Because you don't want to be one of those traders who like profits a ton during a bull market and then they just blow up their accounts in a bear market. So if the market's shifting, tone it back a little bit. You know, stay humble, stay hungry. Stay humble. Humble. HU. Okay, never mind. Dad joke. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, let's grow better together.